Alright guys, welcome to my channel today. Today we are going to take a look at this Eskute. This is a beautiful 26-inch step-through electric bike. This thing has a 350 watt motor in the back of this thing that peaks at 500 watts. This thing has a 10.4 amp hour battery in it. It's a 36 volt system. It has your screen up here. You have a 7-speed derailleur on this bike. Nice swept back handlebars. You've got a twist throttle on this. It's a half twist throttle. You've got matching hand grips on this thing, and these hand grips are locking, so they're not going to twist all over the place on you. You've got this beautiful tan seat on it. Up front here we have a headlight. We also have suspension forks on this thing. We have a fender on it. This does have cable pull brakes, but they are disc. They work great. It also has a bell built right into it. Also very, very nice. The swept back handlebars, I like it for this style bike. In the rear here, you've got a fender on the rear, you've got a rack on the rear, you've got a tail light. It's a running light and a brake light. That's not something you get on a lot of bikes. So, you know, everything about this bike, what you didn't hear is it's a $600 bike, $599 guys for this bike. And if you go to their website, you can get another $50 off on this, because if you give them your email, which they'll send you information on their new bikes, this bike, so on and so forth, they will give you $50 off on your first bike. So you can get this bike for $599. I think it's a super deal for $599. It's not going to be the fastest bike in the world, but it is a very nice bike. It would be a beautiful bike for somebody that's in Florida or flat territory. It does go up hills great, but not super. So if you're in a real hilly area, might not be what you want to get, but it does work good. I'm in a pretty hilly area, and with the assisted pedaling, with me doing some pedaling on it, I didn't have a problem at all with the bike. So very good, and if you are in a flat area, you're going to have a ball on this bike, and the price is definitely right. Even if you bought this bike and decided to step up and get maybe a better bike somewhere down the road, you're going to pretty much get your money back for this. I can't picture this bike selling for, you know, less than $400 even when it's used. So you just can't get an e-bike for that kind of money out there. So again, super bike guys. We're going to go over this bike, so let's take a look at it. I promise I'm going to try to make this go fast so that you guys will not get bored with putting this thing together, but I think it's important that you guys see, you know, how it was packaged and everything else, and that way there, when you go to buy it, you're going to know that you're going to get this thing in good shape. And the thing is packaged extremely well, and all kinds of foam on the bike protecting the paint. I did not find a scratch on this bike at all. Very well packaged, like I said, so don't worry about that. The lights in this bag, they did an awesome job here of packaging this thing up. The handlebars have to go on first. There's not a lot to assemble on this bike, but I am going to show you what I did here. And the toolkit is in here. You've got the wire ties, you've got the through axle, you've got a kickstand and a charger here. So you've got everything you need. I suggest that you get that charger on the battery and get it charging in case you want to go out there. The pedals are Welgo pedals, but they're plastic. But that's fine. There's reflectors on it. See this little piece there that I put on the stem? That's in that box, and that has to go on before you put this on there. So I've gonna try to line this up with the fork on the bottom as straight as I can, and then I will tighten it, and then I will adjust the handlebars to where they need to be, and I will tighten that one also. So the front of this is done. We're going to put the kickstand on next so that the bike can stand on its own. So handlebars so that they're not wagging all over the place and you're banging them around. And then once this kickstand is on, you can have the bike support itself. The only thing is you still don't have the front tire. The next thing I'm going to do is put the rack on. You have to take those screws out of the frame, because all the screws, they put them in place so that you don't, you know, try to wonder what screw goes where, which is a great idea, I think. So the screws, I had already taken these all out so that I can put them back in and, you know, tighten them up. And now the rack's just about on here. So attach the wire for the brake light and the running light. I'm going to flip this bike over now, and I'm not going to scrape it on the fender. I'm going to pick it up now so that the rear fender does not get scraped. Make sure your screen or anything does not hit the ground. I put it down very gently. It's much easier to do the bottom of this bike with it upside down. In the kit here, you've got all the tools you need to put this bike together. I'm putting the fender on, so you've got to take the screw out. Like I said, the screws are all in the bike so that you don't, you know, use the wrong one somewhere. So we've got to put the fender through, and it goes on the front. And you got to put the headlight in at the same time because that's all held on with the same screw. And I'm not going to totally tighten this thing up. I'm going to make it snug but not tight. We will tighten it once we get the bike on the ground and everything together. I'm taking the screws out of the fork so that we can put these through these brackets here that hold the back of the fender on. So again, like I said, all the screws are in there. There's no guesswork as to which screw goes where. Super good idea. Not all bikes do that. So this is your through axle that goes through here. I had a little trouble getting it on the wheel, and I ended up taking that nut off. But you want to put your brake rotor in the center of that caliper, making sure you don't bend it. There's your through axle. You turn it all the way down, and then you push it down, but also make sure it goes to the back. Reason being, you don't want to hit a stick, and if it was in the front, and open it up, and then it could fall off. Also, rotate the wheels. Make sure that the brakes and stuff are not scraping. Left and right on these pedals, guys. The one on this side goes in a counterclockwise, and then this one is clockwise. So that's the difference. That's why there's a right and a left. That's so that they don't loosen up when you're pedaling. Again, you have the wrench that'll fit the pedals in that tool bag. You've got everything you need in there. Now we can flip the bike over and make some adjustments from there to anything that we may have to adjust, like the headlight and the fenders and stuff like that. So I'm going to do the final tightening now that I get that light in the right spot, making sure everything's lined up. The seat goes in, piece of cake to put that in, but it was too loose, so I need to tighten this thing up. And sometimes you got to tighten it up, squeeze it, tighten it up, squeeze it. I'm putting the tie wraps on that wire now. I didn't put it on in the first place because it was easier to do with it flipped back over instead of leaning over. There's a little escutcheon that goes in that thing. Also, check your brakes. Make sure that your brakes work before you take off on the bike. So it's all together now. Piece of cake, guys. If you buy one of these things, I'm going to leave my email there. If you have any questions, you can hit me up, and I'll try to answer your questions for you. Guys, don't forget to check the air pressure in the tires too. The seat on this is a beautiful color. The seat goes down really low, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually measure it so that anybody out there that's a smaller person, you can kind of get an idea of whether or not you're going to fit on this bike with it all the way down. The hand grips on this thing match the seat, which is nice. You got the swept back bar. You've got a 7-speed shifter on this thing. These are also locking so they don't twist all over the place. You have mechanical brakes on this, and you have a half throttle on this thing, so that's nice. You've got your screen over here, and again, beautiful grips on this thing. You got your bell here, which is very nice. Now you've got your battery. This is a 10.4 amp hour battery, 36 volts. This is the key that helps you take it in and out. You've got a locking front suspension on this thing, so you can lock it in or lock it out depending on what you're doing with the bike. Your serial numbers are right here just in case you ever need them or you want to register them. You can put a basket on this. Your front lights here. The fenders on this bike are plastic, so rocks hitting it won't make a noise. You've got a through axle here, so make sure this thing is turned back. Like I said, you've got a tire on this thing that is street tread. It's nice and quiet going down the road, and we are going to take this thing for a ride. The Reflectors on this thing are going to help get you seen at night if you're out there, so you don't want to take those off. Those are safety features, guys, so make sure they stay on there. So the rear rack on this thing, it does not have a rating. You've got little mud flaps on the back, which is kind of nice. Your light on this thing has a running light and a brake light. You've got little springs on the back of the seat which help you going down the road as far as comfort. This is a derailleur protector, and you've got a 7-speed turny derailleur on this thing. The gearing on this bike is 1428. You've got a 350 watt motor on this thing to help pedal along. So there's that 1428. So the big one is 28 and the small gear is 14. Here is your cable pull brakes. They work fine. You can adjust it from here. If you need to add more brake to it, you can also adjust it up top. You've got 160 millimeter rotors on this thing. Again, reflectors in the back. And your kickstand here is a nice little kickstand. Doesn't make noise when you're going down the road, which is great because some of them rattle. The rim's got this nice brushed aluminum on the side. Looks really nice. Your pedals are plastic. They have reflectors in that also, which help you going down the road and being seen. This, again, on the front, you've got cable pull brakes. I'm showing you how that thing works. But they work fine. There's no reason why you would have to worry about it. So you've got adjustments there. You through axles there on the back side. All right, guys, we're getting ready to go on our ride. I thought I'd do a little bit of drone coverage here so that you guys could see what I look like riding around, because I'm going to head back out with a chest mount camera on so that we can take the bike out for a ride. We can talk about it. I can show you the different passes and how fast it goes in it and stuff. But this is what you look like riding down the road. This bike is a very good looking bike, and it looks like a regular bike for the most part. I don't think a lot of people would even realize that it's an e-bike, so that's kind of nice too. There's a lot of people out there that have knee problems and different reasons why they can't ride a conventional bike, and these e-bikes allow you to get out there and enjoy yourself. So definitely something you wanted to do. There's a lot of people, like I said, with knee injuries out there riding these. I know a lot of them personally. I'm going to go back and get my helmet, and we are going to take this thing out for a ride. Like I said, we will be doing a bunch of different things, so you'll know what to expect with this bike when you get one. So we are out on the Eskute. We're giving this the ride try here. This thing has suspension in it. The brakes, not quite hydraulic, but they're adequate brakes. They seem to be stopping just fine. No noise, which is good. I have it in pedal assist 3. All right, so I'm going to knock this down to 1 and see what we get out of this. Pedal assist 1 kicks in around 7 miles an hour. So pedal assist 1 would be 7 miles an hour. Very nice, enjoyable if I was pedaling and didn't want to go fast. This is good. So let's try pedal assist 2 and see what that gives us. Brings us up to roughly 11 miles an hour. Yeah, holds me right around 11 miles an hour. So pedal assist 3 kicks in. We're going up to 14, but we're going down a hill, so let's see what happens when we level out here a little bit. Looks like about 14, so I'm at about 13.8 with it. So about 14, let's call it. So pedal assist 4 is bringing us up to 15 miles an hour and holding us, going down a hill a little bit here, but somewhere around 16 miles an hour, I think, would be pedal assist 4. And pedal assist 5, let's see what we get out of this. So we're up to 17, 18, 19, about 19 miles an hour in pedal assist 5. So this is a 20-mile-an-hour bike. I am already down 1 battery bar on this thing. So I am going to knock it down to pedal assist 3, which gives me 13 miles an hour. And the battery bar has recovered. So that must have been a voltage sag when we were up in pedal assist 5. So I'm going to knock it back to pedal assist 4, which would be a more comfortable ride for me. I'm in 7th gear, going along at 16 miles an hour. So 16 is a nice, enjoyable ride for me. It's slower than what I'm used to, but so I dropped another battery bar going up this hill here at 15 miles an hour in 4. But it's going up pretty good. It's not that it's a big hill, but it is a hill. Again, up to about 17 miles an hour. And we recovered that battery bar again. So a lot has to do with the voltage sag. This is a 36 volt system, so that does happen. This ride's nice though. It's a very nimble bike too. But I think that has to do with the size of the tire. The tire being skinnier is going to make this thing much more nimble. The bigger the tire, they get a little sluggish. But then it absorbs bumps, so that's kind of nice. Well, again, that battery bar has recovered again. Shifting up, 6th. And again, we're going up a hill here. The screen is a little hard to see with my glasses on when they start tinting for the sun. But it's not bad. I've had worse. Again, like I said, very, very nice, nimble bike, very controllable. I feel very comfortable on it. The seat is not bad. I don't mind the handlebars like this either. I know some people don't like the swept back. I don't normally, but this is comfortable. Coming up on the rail trail down here, so maybe we'll jump on that. This is not really designed though for a rail trail. There's real skinny tires on this. But I'm curious to see if it'll do it. So we'll give it a shot. And again, brakes work good. Yeah, I can pretty much lock them up. I locked up the rear tire there. So here we are on the rail trail. And I'm hitting this pretty good because it's in pedal assist 4, but I want to travel, 15, 17 miles an hour. If you were traveling slower, you'd get more out of the battery, but I'll tell you, the battery drops down 1, but it recovers right away. And it's doing well on this rail trail also, so it's pretty hard packed. I know there's some pea stone coming up, which I'm sure it's not going to do good at all in a minute. But very, very comfortable. I did put 40 pounds in the tires. It said between 30 and 60, so I put 40 pounds in them. Okay, here's a pea stone. Yeah, it's not doing too bad, but it's not bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Motor's pretty quiet on this thing too. I don't even hear it. This is a very quiet bike because the tires are so small on it too. So if I was going to be riding this bike on the road, I would definitely put a mirror on this bike. It would be a little challenging. You couldn't do bar end mirrors on this, but you'd have to have a mirror that hooks up here and then comes out on the side, but it would definitely work. Again, not bad on the hills at all. Going right up them so long as I'm pedaling. I'll try throttling. Not that this is a big hill, but it is going up. we will try another hill that's a little bit bigger to see how it does. This would be a good hill to come up, as this one goes down quite a bit. But I have a hill in mind. It's a little ways away, but we'll go over and try it. It's a beast of a hill, it really is. And if it, I wasn't even going to take it over there, but it's doing good enough that I'm going to try it on that hill and see what I can do. Again, coming down this hill, and we'll hit these brakes pretty good. It's not hydraulic, but you can hear they're not squeaking or anything. Nothing wrong with these brakes. Yeah, the seat itself is not bad. I would probably put a suspension post on to make it a little bit more comfortable. Suspension posts really help a lot, so. Yeah, the motor's got a little tiny whine, but you can barely hear it. Like right now, it's not there at all because I'm over the speed. So I'm headed down the hill. So we're at 4 miles, and we are truly down 1 battery bar. But again, I'm in pedal assist 4 to maintain 15 to 16 miles an hour here, 17 miles an hour. So if you were in pedal assist 3, which I'll knock it down to, keep your speed, I think it was 13, yeah, 13 miles an hour. So you would get more mileage out of this bike with that. But, like I said, this bike is a great bike if you had a flat terrain, but it's doing really good. So I'm coming up on a road down here that people always go, oh, Jesus, looks like you're on a highway. So it's a busy road. That's why I wasn't gonna go down here, but like I said, I want to try this thing on that hill. All right, here's that road that I said looks like a highway. So I would think the gearing on this thing is perfectly adequate for what this bike is. If this bike had a larger motor on it and it did 28 miles an hour, you'd be ghost pedaling, but this is fine at this 20 mile an hour range. This is a class 2 bike, like I said. And I do not believe it could be unlocked to a class 3, but I don't know that for sure. So we are down to 2 battery bars. They all of a sudden went away. All right, here's this hill. And this is a beast of a hill, like I said. So I'm in past 4, and I'm at 9 miles an hour right now, and I'm pedaling pretty good. I've dropped my gears down to 2 or 3 here. I'm at 8 miles an hour now. I'm gonna drop it down to gear 1, and I'm down to 7 miles an hour. Let me knock it up in the past 5, see if that helps. It did help. Back up to 8 miles an hour. Like I said, this is a beast of a hill though. But I believe we're gonna do it. We're definitely knocking down the bars here though. All right, we're kind of crusting the hill now. Picking up speed again. And drop it back down to pass 3 for a little bit. See if we can recover that battery a little bit. We'll be heading downhill now. Hear how quiet this bike is though? I'm gonna coast a little bit here. Picked up back to 3 bars now on the battery. And we are cruising at 25 miles an hour. We're already at 6 miles here.
So I'm sure this thing's going to get probably, I'm gonna guess 10 miles out of it the way I'm driving with these hills and everything, which is probably about what I would expect. Up to 28 miles an hour, guys. This is where we started. And our sidewalks are not very nice. They're very bumpy. It's because we have those winters that break them all open. Get a little bit of rain and water in those things and they freezes and it breaks them open. But this bike is okay on the bumps. Like I said, suspension seat posts would do a lot for this bike. I have not tried throttling this thing too much, so we'll hit the throttle here. I'm sure the throttle is going to eat some battery though, but I also want to see something on the throttle. If I put it down to pass 1, how fast will the throttle go? Okay, so when you drop the passes down, it drops the throttle also. So in pass 1, I am throttling at 7 miles an hour. So I think that's where we were pedaling to also. So it must be set at a certain speed when you're in the pass, whether it's on throttle or whether you're pedaling. So again, pedal assist 4, back to that. Maintaining those 3 bars. Yeah, I definitely, I like riding this bike. I think this is the only 26-inch step through I have right now. Again, brakes, they work good, guys. For cable pull brakes, they work awesome. They're not branded, so I don't know what they are, but who cares what they are if they work. Some of these e-bikes too, as the battery goes down, the motor also slows down, but it doesn't seem to be the case with this. It seems to be maintaining a speed here, so that's a good thing. This does not have enough pep that I was going to jump out in front of these cars, I can tell you that much. Yeah, we're up here in New Hampshire. Our trees are just starting to turn color, so down in the golf course here, you can see some beautiful looking trees. People out here on a nice day playing golf. We're back to 3 bars again. So I think I am going to push this thing out and see how much battery we get left. And if you live in a flatter terrain, your battery would last longer. And like I said, I've had it in pedal assist 4. I'm very comfortable doing 16, 17 miles an hour. If you were going slower, you're going to get more battery out of it too. It's these hills that are not friendly to e-bikes. But again, I'm pedal assist 4. This is not the hill that we just went up, and I'm maintaining 12 miles an hour, not a problem here. But remembering that I was going 16, 17 before, so it has come off a little bit. It's actually recovered to 13 miles an hour. Now down to 12 again. Nice tight bike though, no squeaks, bumps, you know, noise. The only thing, I hear the key rattling around there. And the key does not lock these bikes, guys. All it does is allow you to take the battery out, so just be aware of that. You buy one of these things, taking the key or circling the key on is not going to lock the bike up or anything. We'll go up this hill. And this is a pretty good hill here. I dropped it down to first gear and I'm doing 8 miles an hour. But even with 2 battery bars, it's maintaining. This hill is 12 degrees. I know that because I have checked it before. And again, we're in pass 5, 7 miles an hour, 2 battery bars, and we're going up it. Let's try throttling. So 7 miles an hour, 6. It made it though. And we've crested the hill now, and now it's picking up speed, so. I don't know if it would have throttled from the bottom, but it throttled halfways up. What do you think, guys? Should we go back and see if we can throttle it up the whole hill? So we won't pedal. We'll see if we can put another mile on this bike just in throttle. Maybe we'll even throttle that hill. That would be a real test. Again, you know, recap on this bike, we got a suspension fork on the front, soaks up some of those bumps. Like I said, this bike, for the money, got a lot of stuff going. So we are in pedal assist 5, and it's only throttling, we're headed downhill now, but it was only throttling around 15 miles an hour. So it is slowing down a little bit as the battery weakens, but that's to be expected because your voltage drops. So we're going to try to throttle this hill. I don't know if it's going to make it, but we're at 5 miles an hour, 4, 3. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to hurt the motor on it. So I'm pedaling, and we're increasing up to 8 miles an hour. So using your pedals, you can conquer pretty much any hill with this bike. But if you're looking for something to throttle, you're going to want a bigger bike. We are at 12 miles. Been out there almost an hour now, so be an hour right now, 1 hour. So we've been out here pedaling around for an hour. We've done 12 miles, and the voltage is down to 35.7. So this is a 36 volt bike, and the voltage goes down. I would say voltage wise, I don't know on a 36 volt bike what the cutoff is. So these batteries do cut off at a certain point, 34 something, I don't know. So again, I'm using the throttle. I'm trying to push this battery down a little bit because I do want to see what happens when it gets down to 1 bar here. So the voltage when we are throttling is dropping down to 33.4 volts. So I'm guessing probably the cutoff would be somewhere around 32. And I had that in my brain when I was thinking about it. It's recovered to 34 volts, and if we let off the throttle, it recovers to 35.4 volts. Back up this hill again, see what that does to the battery. I can tell you, put it on voltage, 33.2. I don't know, I think this bike might have a good 15 miles in it, even pushing it, because we're at 13 now. Oh, we are down to 1 battery bar now. So I will give you my thoughts on this bike. So we are at 13 miles, like I said, down to 1 battery bar. We'll show you that right now. So you got your mileage here, which is 13 miles, 2 battery bars. Oh, back up to 2. So it does recover. You hit this middle button here. Let's see if I can bring the size up on this so you guys can see this a little bit better. So when you hit this middle button here, you can cycle in between things. So you're at 35.4 volts, so the voltage has recovered on it too. We've been out 1 hour and 5 minutes, and you know, again, 13 miles. The speed limit's here, your passes here. So this thing has got everything on it that you need. And again, to turn that light on, you press and hold, and you see the indicator coming on showing that light. And again, this bike has, and you hold this again to shut it off. This bike does not have directionals, but it does have a brake light and a running light. The brake light, honestly, is something that is not found on a lot of bikes. So again, nice little bike here, guys. I definitely would recommend this thing for somebody starting out. This is a great starting out bike. And all right, let's conclude this thing. All right, guys, so in conclusion, this bike is a pretty nice bike for the money. I definitely think it's something that if you're interested in you know, if you're new to the e-biking world, this might be the exact bike that you should be getting, because again, its resale should be pretty close to what you're buying the bike for if you were to upgrade to something else. And if you didn't end up using the bike, so you had to sell it, you're not going to lose a lot of money. So definitely, I think for this price range, awesome bike, guys. So you know, hit that like, hit that subscribe button on your way out. I do stuff like this all the time. Thank you very much, guys. All right, guys, I want to thank you for watching my video today. And if you are interested in buying a bike or something, please check with my affiliate links. That helps the channel out greatly. Again, guys, hit that like and subscribe on the way out. And thank you very much for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you.